potentially no open end games for our players today, but that's going to give the Falcons over towards Pop-Off one of the best starts. And honestly, we had a big question. We always try to incite riots at Pop-Off Power. Would someone chow them?
That's a great question. Will they be chowed? And right now, it's not looking like that's the case. It does look like Team Feed for Kills also landed Pop-Up. But this was my question. Was this team going to be challenged this time around at High Rise? The battle of a century that frankly was incredibly one-sided. Team Community came to play on LAN. They dominated all day yesterday with one of the lower average placements throughout the course of our top 5 through the course of 6 games, but some of the highest kill totals. This team came to slay and stay in the top 5. We'll see if they're able to do that, especially when they're not being contested.
That's actually super important. And T there, just on the outside of your screen there, looking to get out of dodge. Now, I got a chance to talk to her yesterday around the casino floor, and she was saying that yesterday just really wasn't their best performing day. They were about 14th place after, I think, the second or third game, and they kind of tapered off a bit, and she wanted to come in with a new game plan. Now, mind you, think of the last chance qualifiers when they got into this. They put up such a massive game. I'm talking around 30 points to get themselves here to the global LAN.
A crazy stat, too, is this Cloud9 team. A lot of folks expected a lot from them on LAN. They're storied players. They've got a long resume of playing together and figuring out how to play together in high-intensity moments, and they've completely swapped their plan. You saw them all the way over to Seaport. This is their original plan. They went to plan B by landing Old Town, and it didn't work yesterday at all. I think they're down in the 20s. Today, they said, we're headed back to home. We're headed back to Seaport. We'll see if we can get some action there. So instead, we're going to go check out Omit EU, who, frankly, had a great tourney yesterday. They were top 5, and the top 5 was separated by a sizable margin from 6th all the way through. I think it was like a 30-point margin from 5th to 6th. Crazy stat line. We'll see if that continues today.
You know, they've been in positions where they've been able to excel at this format, but have never been able to, once again, hit that win condition, folks. And by the way, we're looking for 150. Yesterday's gameplay gave us those advanced starting points, is what you'll see on that upper right-hand side of your screen. Omit EU already has 30, so we're looking for 120 more. And once you hit that, you must secure a win. So grabbing your loadout and getting on the move, we're looking for aggressive plays. But based off what we saw from that roster yesterday, they let those eliminations come endgame, and I think we got to start it a bit sooner.
Well, another fun moment here. Take a look at Team Aydan. We talked about them at the top of the show. A fantastic day yesterday. Such a strong team. Everything is clicking. Superstore is uncontested, unfortunately, for JTech, B-Mark, and Slide. Being contested here by Team Huskers, getting better of them very quickly as we see a piece of the action and sending some folks to the Gulag. Now, we still have all 40 teams very early in this one, but the first Gulag of the day, JTech looking for his third.
Oh, and now you can see that Husker squad is being proposed over there at 11 Resort, and JTech's got to get out of the Gulag if he wants to go and get some of those eliminations resolved on the other side. And I like that we're sending the nade right down the center line, but we are going to get a bit punished for it. The Free Fire comes through and unfortunately Resolve able to get back to Urzikstan.
Free Fire does not pay off, but we're going to head back to Team Aydan. Now they've left Superstore because, well, they looted it quickly, got their loadout, and are on their merry way. They're looking for kills. We know their play style. It's pretty aggressive, especially coming out of Superstore. They're looking for some early eliminations. This time they have rotated down towards Farms and have found another very strong team on the side of Robstar, Vortex, and Blade. Reminder, this Robstar team is a team that a lot of folks, Enigma was talking about in the EMEA as a really, really strong team. They end up going to LCQs and then obliterating everybody in LCQ, saying, yeah, we shouldn't have been here. And now they've got a chance to prove that they're a top 10 team here today after a great finish yesterday.
Yeah, great finish indeed, but they only averaged about just under 11 points per game. So if we're trying to get 150 and you didn't really have the best starting points, you have to get on the move. And Team Aydan, I love what they're already doing, trying to position themselves, but not necessarily overextend. So it's a conservative pinch that we're setting up. You have Aydan on the north, DJ from the other side, and Aydan just wants to open the damage up with the thermites, kind of finish them into maybe a room, so you can see that Z-Smith wants to just capitalize on that.
Well, there's a moment here where I thought we might not see similar circles yesterday as Aydan picking a couple. Quick look at the map view, by the way. Of course, this fight happening on the far right-hand side in Farms, and a nice cleanup on one means they've got the advantage. This circle might end Lowtown, but for now, we're going to be sending Blade & Co. to the Gulag, and we'll see maybe if they head to Old Town to try to set up for new. All I know is you're getting cut down immediately and a ton of resources going to the side of Team Aydan, who are having another strong start.
Well, this is what I want from Team Aydan, right? When you think about the average points per game that you need to get to that certain threshold, they had the second highest out of that 6-game series yesterday. It was about 20.5, but Cloud9, after their lackluster performance from day number 1, you know they're not happy, so they want to get off to a fiery start. And Joe and Bredman, the dynamic duo, as we see, kind of just taking all the different angles around here.
This is such an important moment, by the way. They moved to Seaport. Guess who followed them? Vegas Inferno. They also were over there in Old Town, and Vegas Inferno came over to Seaport with Cloud9 and said, we're not done chalking your tourney. This time around, Cloud9 said, get out of my lobby, get out of my way. We're not being third-party by Sage. This time, it's E700 and co. We'll see if it goes the same way as yesterday, or this time Cloud9 can come out on top and turn the tides of their tourney.
And I'm so excited to see what E700, Funzy, and T can bring to the table. T can be incredibly vocal when it comes to trying to lead the team as well. Funzy already on 2, and at one point she was challenging for the tops of the elimination leaderboard, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar if she can get off to a banger start. Currently on 0, but at least they have 2+ eliminations on their team, and we just got to keep an eye out for Four and Jace because he can get in some crazy angles, but Funzy drops Joe, and we are actually deathballing together into the building.
Yeah, talk about repeating history. This time, though, it's not Swag and Co. It's this squad on your screen. They have found 2, looking for the third, and Jace is on the rooftop. So this might take a while to hunt down Jace, but all I know is he is in trouble. In Seaport, this is the last couple teams in this area on the northern side. Off screen, you're seeing the Falcons rotate for free all the way into cargo, but Funzy makes a huge play, gets up on top with T's help to clean this one up and make sure that Jace's teammates aren't back into the lobby. A brutal start yet again for Cloud9. We'll see if they can win their gulags.
Oh, but Aydan on the prowl on 3 eliminations thus far has positioned himself in Low Town, and there's about 4 squads in the neighboring vicinity. The biggest heavy hitter right there is going to be that 29 on your screen. That is FaZe Black, GabeKoon, Flanked, and Blastides, and that is going to be a formidable foe, right? We always tout GabeKoon as kind of the rookie of the year, but they really didn't have maybe the best performance yesterday, but that's okay. Like you said earlier, new day, and we'll keep on moving.
Yeah, rookie of the year for online, I suppose. Let's see if you can prove it on LAN. Today is all that matters, folks. Our points are already in. Everything yesterday can go behind you. New drop spots, new teams. You can see an entire shift of this leaderboard on its head. Of course, the Falcons on top. But I'm not sure how many kills the Falcons have found. They have rotated all the way into the bottom of Old Town, and hardly have found a single person along the way. Finally, they're on our screen. Here we are on the edge of C-Town and Old Town. We'll see if Swag and Co. start fighting some friends, enemies, or former allies with former World Series Warzone winner here, Sage, looking to hunt down the opponents that dropped him.
That's all right. XO Esports on the other side of FaZe here, and when you've got the Falcons that are starting to encroach on your territory, you have to be incredibly quick with this, or you bunker down and don't take the fight. Then you run the risk of potentially having mortars dropped on you, bunker busters, because you know people are going to be walking out of pop-off power. I've seen the way Soka comes through. We have a backpack full of UAVs and all other equipment. So for now, you have to be precarious. You have to check all the angles and make sure that you can snag one of them before they find you.
Yeah, Team 24 is XO Esports, by the way, with Yavix, Daga, and Cam. Certainly a strong team. See if maybe they can better their standings
Adrian,
as
let's
well.
open it up.
High ground certainly pays off in that moment, but no cleanup. Ahsoka's by himself, by the way, on the right-hand side. If they're able to get a read on this, Sage could make a play here. And it's actually Adrian that's giving that comm, so Ahsoka's by himself. Maybe they can make a push. Adrian waiting on his teammates as Ahsoka tries to relocate to his. Right now, it's who makes the first mistake, and right now, it's Adrian getting actually shot by somebody else across the way. There's a couple other teams in this area, but right now, all eyes on this matchup. This is one for the storybooks with a lot of action off screen. It is incredibly important to know who can win here. Even if it takes 5 minutes, I'm sure we can always come back, but this fight is huge for the success of the new zone. This is nearly centrally located and will basically take over the entire northern side of this map, pending a couple rotations. But Sage trying to connect on anything to get some info. Not a lot happening, not yet.
Thermite's going down, just trying to find that opening damage, and sometimes you can get a good one and find that knock regardless. Let's go ahead and jump into a listen here with FaZe.
You from the bottom.
You're in that.
Zip. Come out another one on the zip.
I'm holding this outer door.
Bunker again. One is
One's
up
up
top.
top.
One's up top.
Yeah.
Hold down this floor. Hold down this floor.
Right here. They have an advance. I have no place.
Alright, it's alright. Doesn't matter.
In here. On the door.
You're not. I have no plates, by the way.
I'm hitting him. No plates for there. You got armor box there?
Behind us.
One shot.
Triple this guy.
Yeah, I'm coming.
20.
Dead. I gotta play. Pushing me. I'm plating.
I have no plates. I'm in this corner over here.
Come to me. Plate here. Mini box on me.
You're not.
Is there a trophy on us?
No plates for me.
It's right there, bro.
Where?
Called it out.
Where'd the other two go?
They left.
Hey, you wanna go back height?
Yeah, just take a ride.
I'm with you.
Put him down here.
Fun listening with FaZe, and frankly, a great comms across the board. This team has kind of been criticized sometimes for their communication, their IGL calls, but today, seemingly things are working. They're able to pick up Shifty, and that's going to ward off the Falcons, send them flying around into another location, at least a little way off the map. So we'll always come back to the Falcons and see where they are. Of course, they're our top team today, but right now, not looking great for the Falcons in Game 1, and FaZe holding on to their position, ready for what's coming.
All right, well, Juki's breaking free here, but still staying within distance, hunting down the fluffy aimer squad. You got Funzy just on the other side, but E700 looking to get a little shifty in terms of removing himself from the equation and maybe hitting a nice flank, but he's going to actually crest the water over there, and Juki's catches him on out, and that's a not quite unfortunate because we're so open here, and then you can immediately see you got Vision, Showstopper just on that high ground outside of it, so trying to get out of this situation can be tough because we are actually running stuns. We don't have smokes.
Well, a couple quick updates for you at home or here in the arena. Cloud9 has been fully eliminated in the first 8 teams to be cut down, as well as the Exiles, which is Husker's squad. I believe they are fully eliminated. So I will be very curious to see what happens from here. I think Omit NA just barely has regained and also in a bit of a blender. There's some tough teams still on this map, but some heavy hitters that had an okay day yesterday, not having a great start.
Omit EU on the screen, and well, they're finding themselves out in the upper area of Riverside. We saw a lot of teams starting to try and maneuver their way in here, especially that Dave's Amir roster. You saw them just on the horizon. They had a really nice come up in the back half of our series just yesterday, so never count them out because 4th last year on the World Series of Warzone Global Finals. Of course, we have a bit of a different format here today, and they are very experienced in that as well.
Several great teams in this area. By the way, this is a little bit lackluster in terms of positioning from Omit EU. What do they usually do? Yeah, they just go to the in circle in the first zone. We're in the 4th zone. We're going to pick off Davis Amir from behind, likely, unless he's able to scrap his way out. Do cut him down, but they are way out of position here. There's a lot of room to work in City. This is our first true City zone, at least for now. Look how many buildings are in this area. What that's going to mean for us is, yes, layer cakes, teams on top, teams on bottom of the same buildings, but also a crazy amount of players into these end zones. You're likely going to see resources be everything in the final circles, whether you have PDSs, gas masks, or otherwise, will certainly help you get the victory.
Well, this is what I'm excited about. You got Navi just on the horizon. You guys saw Zeppa yesterday in that solo YOLO, double digits, almost be able to pull it off, but unfortunately came second. Maybe we'll try our better luck here today. Mortar strikes incoming will deter us from getting out into the open and trying to make that push onto Navi as they just decide to rotate ahead towards that stadium era where they're looking to maybe get some high ground and some information and watch people that are late rotating in from that cargo side.
Again, the Falcons coming in from the northern side of this zone in new. There's only a couple teams not in circle already because there's so much cover here. Best positions in my mind right now, Team Super Evan in the Salmon 9. You'll see them on your screen just off into the distance in a really good spot in the central part of the zone with a lot of open areas around their building. So they're probably sitting pretty likely with low kills, though. There's a lot of moments looking back on yesterday where teams were able to get to top 5, top 10, but only had 3-4 eliminations, hoping they would come in the end circle and not finding them. So there's some different strategies paying off yesterday. Some of that slow play did work, and a lot of times it didn't. Kills are everything in this competition.
Yeah, but you also have to remind yourself, when you're watching the Falcons in that early game, you can look at it and be like, okay, Soka's on 0. Next time we see them in just 3 minutes, they'll be close to double digits. That's just how fast they can ramp things up here in that end game. Because, I mean, we still have 29 teams up because you mentioned that layer cake, but Omit EU elsewhere on the prowl, and they're starting to run into Team COD Immunity. We know they can put up massive numbers, and that is going to be a heavy-hitting fight between some of our top 5 teams.
By the way, that's Omit EU pushing down to the bottom side of High Rise. Yeah, Team Unrational, Team COD Immunity. They've been there since the very beginning. They are on the same building they drop on. That's what happens in the city zone. You can see them, the pink 20 just barely off new zone. Red 1, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, as Ahsoka's finally finding potentially his first and maybe second eliminations.
We're heating up.
Stole 1, that's 2 going their way. Should be able to pick up Little Mario, no problem, and maybe other couple in rotation. I think that's Nito on the right-hand side. That's likely a free kill if they know he's there.
Oh, Little Mario. The Shifty's out here just trying to read it. Ahsoka's like, no, whatever. I'm going to get in on the action, crest the fence line, and just can't seem to set their sights onto him. And I mean, if you've got a gas mask and a PDS in the back pocket, yes, I hate to say burn your resources now, but you also have to realize that we're not really into some of the best multipliers, and just surviving can help you.
Yeah, and now looking at new zone, you saw it on your screen. This is, again, the first true city zone, and there are a ton of players still in this map. 76 players, by the way, in the 5th circle is unreal, and it's going to continue to have a monumental amount of people inside of buildings. Now, I will say with new zone, high-rise barely inside of that. I'm looking specifically at Clavson, Gui. You'll see them off screen here in a moment. We check out that map. They're dead center of zone, number 27. We're going to keep our eyes out for them. They're a really good spot to do well in this competition, as well as Team Aydan, who's already rotated to new dead center of zone. This is the opposite side of the coin, of course, the Falcons on the edge. As you can see now, Almond on your screen with the Falcons MENA team.
Yeah, that Falcons MENA squad with Almond kind of subbing in there. They're on that bottom side of Quadrant Shopping Center, right? So they know it's going to end in this vicinity, and they've just got to set themselves up for that position. But the Falcons rotating in are getting ripped apart. Biffle down on the ground, but the thing about it is, if there's one Falcon left standing, there's usually a regain that comes through really quickly. Shifty already coming back in. They're likely trying to get Biffle down and out so we can get him bought back. This is actually going to help their rotation. The issue is you're not going to have your weapons. You're going to have to find something, and Sage, Adrian from below, we're going to have to chow this.
Good grief. So many players in this area. Sage saw him fly in. We weren't able to pick him up, which means Ahsoka could make a heroic play. The problem is Sage in the way. Zoned him off, might make a play for the buy for some resources. They got plenty of cash to work with, and right now it might be a regain simulator for this squad. Again, I'm going to harken something back to what I said yesterday, as the team Falcons mostly has gained, you know, side by side, shoulder to shoulder. They've regained and able to make it to the buy to get some resources. This is their worst in-circle, in my opinion. You can see Shifty actually being cut down by Gui off-screen. City is not a great rotation for them. There's just too many people in the way when they have to come all the way from the north side of the map all the way into City. Still 55 players on this map, but who knows? Anything can happen if Shifty gets cut down yet again.
They are getting pieced apart, whether it's Team North, whether it's FaZe Black. Keep your eyes on them because they've only acquired 4.8 points throughout this first match. And if the Falcons foul here, keep your eyes on the likes of Team Echo, Team Aydan, Team Community, the squads that are still up and have the capabilities of getting themselves into those higher multipliers.
Again, Super Evan squad in another great position. That's the Salmon 9, but here's a push. Swag's team decides to relocate. They decide to go for an early rotate, and the smoke and run apparently works. Biffle looking for a couple more in transition. Can't get anything for it. They can't find a kill to save their life right now in the first game. They've got a lead overall because yesterday finally find Prodigy. That's a big one, of course. That's a top 5 team. We can keep pushing the equation here and rotate to new. They still got a chance for a good game, not a great one. But where do you go from here? Every angle is being looked at, aside from this tall building next to you, because Super Evan's team's on the bottom.
No money to buy back. We are going to be a duo. And I think I'm going to hear the sounds of smokes being popped in Warzone in my sleep at this rate. A buyback nearby, but this is going to be one heck of a rotation, and we kind of need to chow and clear out this Team Super Evan from the building, because if not, on our rotate, they're going to mirror us. We already are kind of hitting that peak, maybe wanting them to extend on out.
This is brutal. The amount of angles they can get shot from right now is insane, and like you said, smoke and run are certainly the strategy. Super Evan's team is not going to bite on that, which is lucky for the Falcons, as they are able to rotate again back to a team that nearly wiped them before, a Swag squad. So many angles means where do you go from here? Folks, we have 43 players in this lobby and dropping 16 teams as we're about to pop into the 8th circle here shortly. An unreal statistic. We'll see how many players can rat out underneath this bridge here in a moment.
And Omit EU wiped another one just before coming on over this. We already have a bunker buster in our back pocket. We have recon drones for information. One of our players, a self-res, we have gas masks. Like, this is how you set up. We rotated early. We got a powerful position. Team Super Evan, they fall. And honestly, so do the Falcons.
It's just, this is a tough scene for the Falcons. It's not their circle. They're going to regain for new. We know it. But in this one, they fall in 12th. Not a great multiplayer, not a lot of kills. This is going to open up this leaderboard. A 10-point lead is nice, but it's not good enough, not right now. And we head to the other Falcon squad, who does have a high ground position, but look at the zone pull. A god rotate there for guess who it is? Yet again, Team North. Clavson, Gooey, FOS, if they've got enough resources in the 27 pink, they've got a chance to have a great game. Team Community fully eliminated, just barely, I think, getting top 10, so a decent multiplier. But it's FaZe at the bottom of this building with a chance to do great work.
They call in a bunker buster and just drop it straight on the center of everyone. There's even a squad that already preemptively rotated, that CT Black roster. Keep an eye on them because FaZe has found themselves completely surrounded. And honestly, our wildcard team from North America still in the mix as well. Nick Cool, you know, he won $50,000 in the solo YOLO yesterday. Still not enough for them. Wants to bring it to the table today.
Nice.
Already picking apart that FIFA kill team.
Fastball special doesn't quite connect, but Jukis gets cut down from Omit EU, who's trying to make a play for some piece of cover, some semblance of reprieve in the chaos of this circle. Panda also trying to do the same, immediately cut down, because who has ultimate high? It's the other Falcons. Falcons Mina with a great chance here to take a banger map and leapfrog their way up this leaderboard. So much room to work right now with a lot of the top teams already being eliminated. You're not seeing nearly any of the top 5 still in the top 5 in this lobby. It's FaZe with a huge chance to jump into the top 4, top 3, or maybe beyond, depending on their kills. We've made it to the top multiplier besides first. The question is, can anybody take out the Falcons Mina squad on ultimate high?
Well, you got FaZe here, and well, they've got a bit of space to work with, but you have to keep your eyes on that Team Colony 2K. A lot of teams are going to want to play for that space, and I'm a little nervous for it, but we're going to make this a big prominence burn in the building. Sage on 5, getting Mixie.
Okay, FaZe, we see you. Job not done, though. We need the 2x multiplier. The problem is the Falcons being up on high ground yet again, raining terror from above. Sage being contested below, above, and everywhere in between. Nick Cool being cut down. Colony 2K leaving this lobby. Where is FaZe Swag? Can you find him? Hamoon trying to make a big play, goes down. Deep in the gas, 6 last alive for the team. No, it's Almond up on high. We've seen this circle before, and Almond has a chance to close this out. Clavson being cut down. No, Almond
What?
down the gas. It's Gooey. FLS, Clavson. They can win it. Colony 2K wins the 1v2. Colony 2K on top. Somehow, some way, we go from winning the solo YOLO as Nick Cool to instead Team Colony 2K keeping up the momentum and saying we're not done yet, we're just getting started. 6th place yesterday,